All right, so I'm with you know who, the lunatic farmer, Joel Salatin. What does it mean to you, Joel, to go rogue?
What it means is to put energy in circumvention rather than compliance.
Okay, those are big words. Please break it down.
Those are big words. So there comes a time when regulatory tyranny becomes overbearing, that all of us who try to, yes, I'm trying to get licensed to make ice cream or to sell chicken or to make a pot pie and sell it to my neighbors. I'm trying to, but the HACCP plans, the commercial kitchen requirements, the septic requirements, the bathroom requirements, the infrastructure to maintain cold chain, the infrastructure to maintain hot chain. I mean, I can go on. Okay.
Oh, I see.
But my point is that there comes a time when those are so overbearing and burdensome, especially to an entrant, to a new entrant into that space, that it there are hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs who would start servicing their neighbors tomorrow with food if it were legal to do so.
But Joel, some people say those regulations that seem so onerous and so burdensome actually are protecting the consumer.
Yeah. Yeah. So in order to say that, you have to assume that a bureaucrat is more trustworthy than your neighbor. A neighbor that you have gone over and looked around and inspected yourself, and maybe you go to church with that neighbor, maybe your kids play together, maybe you've been in and out of the house together. To say that two neighbors that are friends can't engage in a food transaction without a bureaucrat in between them, I'm sorry. It's un-American, it's tyrannical, it's not fair, and it's unjust.
So what's the first step to going rogue, to kind of circumventing that system as you're describing?
Well, one of the things that we do at these rogue food conferences is we showcase people who have cleverly, legally found loopholes. So, for example, so there are numerous remedies for this. One is a private membership association. One is community supported agriculture, where you invest in a farm, and so what you're getting, you're not buying anything. You are getting dividends from your investment, which means then it's not a sale. If it's not a sale, it doesn't come under the government's purview. You can give it away and take donations. You can teach a course, and part of the course materials online can be food that comes free with the course instruction.
Oh, I see.
So there are numerous remedies out there. And so what we want is to offer basically an option sheet, a fruit basket of here are things that you can do to circumvent and to just empower people, because most people, here's the deal: if you go ask a food regulator for permission, they will always say no. I mean, there are three kinds of people in the world. There are people that want to do things. There are people that want to watch things done, and there are people that want to stop things. And all food regulators are under that want to stop things.
Right.
They don't want to say yes because they don't want to take responsibility for taking that burden of yeah, I gave them permission. So the easy thing to do is to say no, you can't.
Right.
And so what we're after is trying to get people to have enough, savvy, courage, to not ask and just go do. I mean, one of the things that we teach here aggressively is, if you violate a food safety law, for example, a food regulation, you're not going to be fined and you're not going to be thrown in jail on the first the first interaction with the bureaucrat. They're gonna tell you, we've heard this, is it true? And if there's going to be some sort of interaction. And we teach here that you never talk to a bureaucrat. Everything is in writing. You never talk to them. You don't let them come to your facility. You don't let them out of their car. They come with a warrant only. and you do everything on paper, and that slows everything down by a year. Because they know suddenly that's admissible in court. Their conversation is not admissible in court. When you stand there and say, well, the inspector said this, that's hearsay.
Oh.
It's only admissible if the inspector says, yes, I said this, this, and this. But when you get it in writing, now it's part of the record.
Right. So you can slow down the process.
You can slow down the process generally by a year, just simply by saying, you know what, we're not talking. I'll do all this in writing.
Oh, okay.
And that is like a cannon across their bow that says, whoa, these folks have been coached. They know what the situation is. I'd better watch my P's and Q's.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm so grateful that you're inviting people to go rogue, especially it sounds like the small entrepreneur, the small farmer, the person that wants to have like a cottage artisan product that they want to sell to their neighbor. But what if you're just a person that wants to go rogue as a consumer?
Well, interestingly, I mean, the fact that you asked that is such an interesting question, because in our country, hazardous substances, fentanyl, prescription drugs, all of the prohibitions, the regulations on them are on both the buyer and the seller, and even the use. In other words, if you want to use fentanyl, you can't even possess it. You can't even possess cocaine. All right?
Okay.
And so in every other thing that's considered hazardous, unsafe, let's say unsafe, the prohibitions are on your ownership, your use of it, your buying of it, and your selling of it.
Okay.
But food, unsafe food, the prohibition is only on selling it.
Why is that?
Because it's not about food safety. It's about market access. The whole template here. Now, an inspector will tell you, oh no, it's about safe food. You know, and the average person, oh no, all these regulations are about safe food. Well, if they're about safe food, then why is it that if I find somebody that I can buy it from, who's willing to be a criminal, and I can buy it from them, that's perfectly legal. And I can feed it to my kids. And as a farmer, I can give it away, and you can give it to your kids, and I can donate it to the church bazaar, to the fire company raffle, to what? You just can't buy it.
You can donate it, but you can't sell it.
That's correct. So if it truly is unsafe, you shouldn't be able to give it away, and you shouldn't be able to buy it if it's really unsafe. So make no mistake about it. What we're dealing with here is not a safety factor. At the bottom line, it is a who has access to the market factor. And all of the food safety regulations are scale prejudicial. They are easier to comply if you're big than if you're small. And to me, and to those of us in this group, we believe that a regulation that is easier to comply with if you're big than if you're small is an inherently unjust regulation.
Oh my gosh, well, I look forward to this whole weekend and learning more about how to go rogue, whether I'm a producer or a buyer or something in between. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you for having me, Hilda.